Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the weekly review that Sean Sarek. I am Sean Akina Notorious. And of course, I'm joined along with.
And it's your boy Shrek. Mike, happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Happy 1st. It's March 1st.
Hey, it's March 1st. Spring is just around the corner.
Well,
And
I
here
mean,
in Tampa, you know how hot it's about to get.
the
Oh
sprinklers
my
are out of
God.
block like 2 months ago here in Tampa.
That's true. Hey, you ain't lying. I mean, I did a parade not too long ago. Started a parade with a jacket before the parade even started. That jacket was gone.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, how do I say? Like this is the northerners time. I mean, I know high school and college spring break starts at sometime in March, but this is the time when the snowbirds come down and they just
Oh,
clog up all the
great.
restaurants, clog up all the beaches, walking
Clog
around
up all
pale as hell.
the highways and the streets,
Oh
and oh my
man.
God, I was on the road. I did a 10-mile drive, 10-mile drive last week,
Mhm.
and it took 2 hours.
That's
2 hours to go 10-mile little radius.
that's insane.
Ridiculous.
I got my one wheel, and like I don't like to go too far. You know what I mean? Because like you don't want to hit streets to where like you got a lot of traffic. Is people driving. I'm not a bike lane type
Yeah.
of guy because I got a one wheel. I'm not a one wheel lane type of guy, but I stay within like a 2 mile radius. But lately, going to work, because living by the arena, you would think it
Yeah.
was like a plus. Oh, I live by the arena. I can go to hockey games. I can go to concerts. I can go to events. Nah, 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 nah. You rarely do that. When it's time for you to go to work and it's 7 o'clock and that traffic, it's only two ways to get off
Yes.
this island. One way
Yes.
is a no go. The other way is like a toss up. And like I'll be late for work, and I'm the type of guy to where like I hate saying traffic is the reason I'm late because you should know better. But when I be
But it
like,
is.
yo, I've been in my garage for like 20 minutes just trying to leave. Like
Uh, It's insane.
it's
It's gotten
crazy.
so bad because it used to take me 15, maybe 20 minutes to get to Armenia,
Mhm.
basically downtown.
Yeah.
Now that's a 45-minute drive on a
Yeah.
good day.
The better
On
the
a
lightning
good
play,
day.
the later I am.
I
It's
was
like
out. I was out in your area because they had the Gasparilla Distance Classic this
the
past
run,
weekend.
right?
The run, yeah. So my organization, Buffalo Soldiers. By the way, anyone listening and
Buffalo
watching,
Soldier.
check us out. The Woods and One chapter of the Tampa Buffalo Soldiers. You know,
Okay.
but we were there working the event as volunteers. Uh, Parking was ridiculous, and parking was so bad because I went back down there later on that day.
Mhm.
You couldn't get downtown. You couldn't take like a direct way
Yeah.
downtown, and you got caught up in traffic for a good 40 minutes just in the downtown area. Not getting there, just in that area.
Yep.
Come
And the
on,
cops
man.
and then the
You
cops
see,
got like the cops just stand there directing traffic and I like, I'm a black man, I'm not trying to have any type of interaction with the police that's not a positive feeling. But sometimes like I just want to roll my window down and be like, "Yo, I live here. Like y'all got to fix this." You know?
Yeah.
I don't I
It's
bring Paige along cuz she a white girl. I'm like, "Paige, say something to the cops. Just complain. Like we're good." Like I can't complain. You can complain, but complain about this
uh,
traffic, you know what I mean? And it's ridiculous, man. And
'cause
people are assholes on the street pretty much.
man, yes. Man, yes. Right now, oh, there's so many L's on the street. Cause like, I may not be the most courteous driver, but I'm a courteous driver. You got your blinker on
Yeah,
and
go ahead. Go ahead.
this is we all trying to get on the highway. Come on, man, get on. We just keep it moving. Get on the highway. No, but you got jokers right now. As soon as you put your blinker on, they speed up. All the cars behind them speed
Yeah.
up. You're like,
I'm
come
like, where
on,
you
man.
getting
We
to
all
quicker
going the
than
same way. We all
exactly.
going to the same
And I
place.
gotta roll down the window, be like, yo, I live here. Like I'm going home. Like you just going to see, you know, uh
Shrek or something, you know.
yeah, Shrek in theaters, I guess. Again. But anyway, man, what we got on the rundown today?
Man, yes, yes, yes. So on the rundown today, so we got a good one for you guys today, because a lot of this stuff has been in the news, and so we're gonna talk about it. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is the Alex Murdaugh, and it's not spelled Murdoch, it's actually spelled Murdaugh, but he goes by Murdoch. The Alex Murdaugh
Must be nice.
murder trial that's happening in South Carolina. Now, we don't really talk a lot about murders here on the weekly review because we like to make you laugh,
All right. We like
and
to talk
we're
about
not
people
gonna.
that's alive.
Yeah, but we're not gonna be comical about too much about this area. But let's just be real. This guy's a moron, and we're gonna talk about it. We're
Moron.
gonna move
That's my
on
favorite
after
word.
that and talk about the Nipsey Hussle killer has been sentenced to 25 years. I thought it was 6 years,
No,
but he's been
60.
sentenced to 60
60 and
years,
plus life, whatever that
60
means.
years in prison. And then finally, we're gonna talk about Fox versus Dominion and how they are kicking their tail.
Yep.
Um, But and then of course, finally, we're going to talk about what Florida. You know, I think they're tied up, so we're going to see if we can break that tie.
No, 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 we're not
Yeah.
tied. I'm winning
No,
by
you're not tied. Oh, you're winning. Oh, Surratt says he's winning. I don't know if Khan's going to agree with that, but we'll see. We'll see. But all that is coming up for you on the weekly review. So first, let's get started with this today's top story. Alex Murdaugh.
So who is
So do you
Alex
know?
Murdaugh, first of all?
Okay, so
Like,
Alex Murdaugh, he was a prominent attorney
put my glasses on when I'm paying attention.
In Hampton, South Carolina,
Mhm.
which is just outside of Waterboro, South Carolina, uh, near the coast.
Okay.
Actually, it's closer to Savannah than anything, but near the coast. His family, just to kind of give you a little background, his family, starting with his his great grandfather, has ran
Probably owns
that
slaves.
town. I wouldn't doubt it.
South
Has
Carolina,
ran
I
that
mean,
town for the last 100 years. When I say run that town, I don't mean they own a lot of business and stuff like that. No, no, no. His family has been a solicitor general for that town for the
okay.
last 100 years. So his starting with his grandfather, his dad, even he dipped his feet in it a little bit. So yeah, so they've ran that town. And here's the backwards part about it. Not only were they the solicitors for these cases, they were also working as the general attorneys for the defendants in these cases in the same town.
Okay, so they
So
they
you
got
had,
their own little court system going pretty much.
well, yeah, exactly,
My father says you're
exactly.
guilty, that means you're guilty.
Yeah. And see, a lot of the stuff didn't come to light until, and that's what I'm getting into now, until it didn't even start. First thing that started was his son Paul um, was driving a boat drunk, um,
Only way to
very,
drive it.
very drunk,
Okay.
underage drinking, um, and he crashed, hit a berm.
What do you hit?
They lost a berm, I believe, but they lost one of the women, one of the girls on the
Oh, she
boat. Her name
died?
was Morgan. She died. Yes.
What was she on, like, the what was she being dragged by the boat? She was, like, on a one of those.
It looks like the boat got tossed when they hit the berm, and she went overboard.
I
So
immediately think of that video. Remember that video where they're like, they got Lil Jon. I mean, it's obviously edited, but Lil Jon playing in the background where they're just like, doom, doom,
pretty
doom,
much.
and then they just go flying off. I
Well,
mean, it's not funny.
Did you ever see that video when they're riding in the boat and the boat goes like side to side, side to side, and then like they almost all get tossed off the boat?
I think that's the
That
same
was pretty
video.
much what that's pretty
But
much
they
what
like
happened
holding on
here.
in the middle, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that makes sense
exactly.
then.
And so he gets charged. Well, first he doesn't even get arrested for 2 weeks. Um, then it comes like that. Okay, well maybe we should charge this kid with something.
Right.
Well,
We gotta charge them something.
once he got charged, apparently they started looking closer at the dad, Alex.
Okay.
He got he was just found out that he's committed fraud in the tune of almost $20 million
Mm.
in fraud, stealing money from his clients for his drug habit. Yes, he has a major drug habit.
$20
So
million?
much
What is
so,
he buying? I mean, he worked for the cartel at this point.
yeah, I know exactly. I mean, he's a made a cartel at this point. 20 million, you can have your own cartel at
Yeah.
that point. Come on
He
now.
the US El Chapo.
Yeah, I mean, it's
No,
just
no wonder there's an
ridiculous.
Adderall shortage. He didn't bought them all up. He didn't bought them all up. Oh, man.
It's ridiculous. And so he gets that that they look at him like, oh, you committed fraud. So he gets charged with fraud in that $20 million. While he went right after he gets charged, he allegedly has a his drug dealer shoot him in the head as a drive-by shooting.
Wait. Time out.
Yes. Yeah.
First of all, he has a drug dealer. I would think he had, like, a
Yes.
drug organization, like,
Oh,
sending him stuff. Um,
the dealer looks like he's a candidate for Meth Kingdom USA. I'm just saying. I'm
yeah,
just saying.
like, holy shit, who is supplying this guy $20 million, worth of drugs? Like, what type of deal? This is the dealer of all
How are
dealers.
you still a dealer when you supplied a guy $20 million worth of drugs?
Yeah,
You should
you a
be like,
kingpin.
"Oh, yeah, you at that point, you're like, oh, I done made my money. I'm out the game."
Yeah, this is not like the
No.
guy on the corner, like, "Hey, I got what you need. I got what." No, this is like he wearing a three-piece suit and got goons to go out, you
Yes.
know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. We ain't meeting on the street, buddy. You coming to my office. Nah.
Yeah, right,
Yeah, that's what it should be. No, this is still meeting on the street type of crap.
right.
$20 million. And that's just what they found. There's gonna be more. So he has his buddy shoot him. That buddy, his drug dealer shoot him in the head, allegedly.
Is he dead?
It doesn't go well. He's only wounded. He's not even get lodged in his head or anything. So he's only wounded. He gets picked up. They of course break the case wide open and say, "Oh, okay, so you paid your guy to do this," and he kind of sort of admitted to that. So now the drug dealer is, of course, on trial for aggravated assault because he got paid to do to shoot him,
Was he trying was the plan was to kill him or just shoot him?
kill him. It was to kill him.
How do you
Allegedly, the
watch
plan was to
that?
kill him because if he was dead, all the money that they have in life insurance, and all that other stuff would go to the family, and
Wow,
then all
so
the
he's
problems and
already
everything like that
committed to,
would
like,
disappear.
"I'm not gonna put my family through this. I'm sacrificing myself," pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. At that point, he did. At that point, he did. Now let's fast forward a little bit. Now we got kind of the basis over this start. A couple months later, I believe it was in June or July. Uh, I know it was in. Let's see.
I don't know how you botch a killing. Like, why there gotta be a drive-by? Why can't he just run up
Yeah.
and shoot him, you know? Like, "No, you gotta make it a drive-by." Like, who's so I'm like, "No, man, I'm just gonna get out the car and shoot you. Why do you care? You gonna be dead." Like, you know?
So, so on June 7th, 2021 is when
That's my birthday,
the
June
murders
7th.
were allegedly when the murders happened. So, and he was put on trial a month later after he was charged with in their murders. Now, it's alleged that he shot the wife and the son and his son Paul, the one who had the boat accident,
Mhm.
because of all the heat he's getting from Paul's accident.
Was he trying to
That's the
kill
alleged story.
the kids too, or the family members?
Just the son, and I believe the mom. This is what prosecutors have alleged. He killed the son to. This is all alleged, by the way, but he alleged he killed the son
By the drug dealer, right?
because of all because of all the drug deals and all that, and
Mm.
because of all the heat that he brought. And then the wife came up on them, saw what happened, and that's when he killed her with a different weapon, with a different uh, weapon. He
And
shot them both, but
this
he
drug
only
dealer must
shot
be
one.
stressed the hell out. Like, "Yo, this guy, oh my god, he wants me to shoot
Yeah.
him in a drive-by and then kill his son." Then his wife came out of nowhere, had to kill her too because we don't leave no witnesses. Oh my god, all this for freaking some painkillers? Like,
Is
come
that
on.
and that's it. That's the drugs he's taking is pain. He's taking oxycodone and I forgot the other one, but
He should have
painkillers
just
basically.
overdosed. Like, that's the way to go. I mean, that's not time out.
It would have
Obviously,
been
if you have a
more
problem with
painless.
drugs, go see somebody. But I'm saying, if you
Yes.
have $20 million worth of drugs, you should probably take a handful. Boom, solves your problems. Unless it's
So
edibles, then you're just gonna be high as shit for a week.
yeah. So that's the Alex Murdaugh trial. That's where who he is and where it came from.
Okay.
Now let's talk about this a little bit. How dumb can you be?
Pretty dumb. Pretty
I
dumb.
mean, come on. It's on your own family's property, a
Then again, in
700
South
acre
Carolina, no
property,
offense,
by the way.
Sean.
Ain't none taken in South Carolina. Yeah. Ain't none taken. There's a reason why I do
I would
not
be
live in
surprised if the
South
drug dealer
Carolina.
was related to them somehow. Like, yo, wait a minute, ain't you John's nephew from the second
Hey,
cousin?
considering it was that part of South Carolina, it's a really good possibility. It's someone's cousin,
That's yep.
you know, once removed type of deal. Because
Like,
that part of South Carolina is very close knit.
can you imagine
Very
like
close knit.
they're doing like the blood samples and they're doing the DNA? Like, wait a minute, all these people are related. Like, what type of this is my cousin. I'm the guy.
I know. Like he calls his mama, "Hey ma,
No,
ma, did you know Jim is related to us? How you
yeah.
know that? I got his DNA."
Guys, DNA. Can you imagine if they went on 23andMe? It'd be like you got 80 relatives in a 1 mile square radius. Like,
I know.
like, oh shit. I know you look like me.
Jen, your wife is also your second cousin.
Yes. And the guy you shot is actually your great grandfather on your mother's side.
Yeah. But I mean, not to make light of this. I mean, two people did lose their lives, and well, actually three,
Right.
and we do feel for them. But this family's something else, man. The apparently they're looking at he killed the housekeeper because
Why? She had nothing to do
uh
with it.
but well the housekeeper may have found his drugs before. This is all alleged, by the way, but may have
Mhm.
allegedly found his drugs and was going to not confront him, but say something to the mom, the wife,
Oh, she's
and
snitching too.
she got, she slipped is a story down the stairs, but now they're thinking she might have been pushed
Now, see,
down
that's
the
the thing is
stairs.
he shoulda got his housekeeper from one of the hotels in Vegas because they see all types of shit. You'd have had one of them come over, they would like, "What's this powder
Well,
stuff?" "None of my business." And
let
just
me
kept
tell you
cleaning.
let me tell you how dirty this motherfucker is, man. Let me just tell you how dirty he is. He he the son of the housekeeper comes to him about it, and he tells the son, "Don't worry about anything. I got it. You're good. I'll
Mhm.
handle all the paperwork." Oh yeah, he handled all the paperwork, all right. He handled all the paperwork to where he got paid and they got nothing.
"Don't worry, I'll handle
Nothing.
this. I'll
He
handle
he
this."
he took the entire settlement from them. All right,
That's insane.
life service money from them. Yeah, yeah. So you think the son? I guarantee that son is probably sitting in that courtroom every single day,
Yeah,
not
right,
missing a
just
beat.
itching for
Like
drugs, just
you
like,
gonna fry.
Damn, I wish I had my drugs on me right now." That's insane. And, like I was saying before we actually, got on, there is a documentary about this on Netflix currently. Am I right?
So there's actually two documentaries about this case out there. There's one on Netflix, which is actually pretty good.
Okay,
Actually really good. And there's one on HBO, which is also really good. I watched the
okay.
one on HBO first. They're very, very similar. But the one on Netflix, since it's a little bit later getting released, it's got a little bit more information.
More
Not
info?
much
Okay.
more, but just a little bit more info. But they're both done very well. Both kind of centered on, like, the one on HBO is kind of centered really mainly on the family,
Mhm.
whereas the one on Netflix centered on like everything that's going on around that family.
Okay,
So
so watch the HBO one first and then watch the end of the Netflix one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They were both really good documentaries. But yes, those are our listeners and those who are watching. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. And this
Yeah.
case is ongoing currently. It's you want to see the actual from gavel to gavel. You can watch it on Court TV. If you just want the highlights, you can check out your favorite news channel, CNN, Fox, all those. They're out there. They're all covering it because this is
And
just
don't move
insane.
and
This
don't move
family,
to South
let me tell you about
Carolina.
this family. This family has ran that part, not just they've ran that part of South Carolina, but this family so known that even where I lived in South Carolina, the
You know
upstate
who they
area,
are?
we knew who they were and that they were
Damn.
untouchable. Because there's certain families in certain states, especially in the South, that are just untouchable. This is one of those families,
It's
you know.
2023, there's still untouchable families out there?
Oh yes, there are still untouchable families out there. I mean,
That's crazy.
yes it
Damn.
is. Yes it is.
They adopting
But
or no? No.
I know. Hey,
"Hi, Mr. Murdoch,
the
I heard
last
about your
surviving member, the
issues."
son, he's still gonna get paid. He's gonna get sued, but he's gonna get paid too. Because
Yeah, because his uncle is suing him, and his grandma's gonna pay him. Like, this one big, giant South Carolina cluster F.
yeah, pretty much. Pretty
Anyways,
much. Anyways, but that is what's going on with the Alex Murdaugh trial. I would like to hear any of our listeners or people who are watching comments because
and if you know him,
how do people get away with the stuff like this? And he got almost $20 million worth of drugs. How do you get away with that out of a law firm? Does no one look at the books?
and then all of a
$20
sudden you see
million?
El Chapo
Really?
enters the chat like, "Well, I could give you some
I
advice
know,
on how to
right?
get away with, 20,000,000." A little bit more than that. Oh, man.
Jesus. Jesus,
Alright,
it's
next up,
crazy.
we got
Yes. Let's talk about Nipsey Hussle
RIP.
and the those who don't know, rapper Nipsey Hussle, who was killed by Eric Holder Jr., who has now been
2019.
sorry, he's killed in 2019 by Eric L. Holder Jr. That guy has now been sentenced as of yesterday, I believe. Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
Ye February 22nd. So,
The
sometime in the
22nd,
past week. Yep.
to 60 years behind bars. Ciroc, I'll let you take it.
Yeah, 60 years to life in prison, which is obviously a very long time. Eric Holder Jr., 33 years old, was convicted within this past week or so, depending on when you watch this, of first degree murder of late rapper Nipsey Hussle. You don't know who Nipsey Hussle is. Basically, he is kind of like a self made um, rapper out of LA, Crenshaw,
Mm.
specific, well, Crenshaw Boulevard, but you can say basically the LA scene. All right. Now Nipsey Hussle is
Had a
known.
very beautiful. had a beautiful girlfriend. I can't remember her name right
Lauren
now.
Lauren London, who's
Lauren
actually
London, that's it.
who's
Lauren London.
actually starred in that movie recently. What was it called? About it wasn't Dear White People. It was with her and Jonah Hill. I forgot the name of it.
Oh, it's on, Netflix.
It's supposed to be
I know what you're
funny.
talking about. Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty fun. I haven't seen it yet, but it's actually on my list to
It's
watch.
I liked it. Some people don't like it's a love hate type deal, but that was actually
Yeah.
her first. Is You People is what it was called, but
Yeah, that's it, You People. Yeah.
that was her first movie since the passing of Nipsey Hussle, and obviously they do have a daughter together as well. But anyway, Eric Holder was sentenced to 25 years for shooting Nipsey Hussle back in 2019, an extra 25 years for having a firearm, which I don't understand how 25 years for shooting and then 25 years for a firearm, unless you shot him with a bow and arrow. I guess that's a different crime. But
Hey,
uh,
you know that it's just like Jenga. If they can stack it on you, they're gonna stack it on
Yeah, another 25 years for wearing some Jordans on. That's another crime. But he was also convicted of 2 counts of attempted voluntary manslaughter for injuring 2 other people. So it wasn't just Nipsey Hussle that was shot. There were other injuries as well, which accounted
It's
for
kinda
an
messed up
additional
that
10.
they don't mention the other 2 victims. Now, don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
Nipsey
I
Hussle
know. I don't think they
the
died though.
target. No, they didn't die, but while he was the target, and don't get me wrong, we needed all the the fanfare and, all the that he can
Right.
get.
It's kind of like
But
when Kobe died, right? It was like
yeah,
Kobe and daughter dies, although there were still like 4 or 5 other
other
people
people
that
on
died, which sucks. You
exact
die with a celebrity. Unfortunately, no one's gonna remember you. They're just gonna remember the celebrity, but that's just how it is. But then again,
yeah.
if you didn't
Well,
die with
but
celebrity, no one would ever know that you died in the first place, besides your family
well,
and
see,
close
and
friends.
that really doesn't have to be how it is. When we talked about this before, media picks and chooses what they report and what they say.
Right.
They could have very easily, because I know you watched articles with Kobe Bryant. And by the way, side note, Kobe Bryant's wife Vanessa was just awarded $28.8 million by
Whoa!
LA County. So that's the
I
something they
guess you
changed
didn't
it.
have to be with him shooting in the gym. Damn. That was a joke.
But back to it. So when that happened, they could have very easily kept mentioning everyone else's name, because it's not like you had a lot of names to mention. You mentioned Kobe, you mentioned his daughter, you mentioned the
Right.
helicopter pilot. Why
Right.
not mention the other three? Mention them. But you
Headlines.
choose to only mention the headline name, thinking, "Oh, that's the only reason why people are gonna tune in."
Right.
No, we want to know everybody those other people, why they were not Kobe or why they weren't Nipsey Hussle, they had a story.
Right. And it
What's their story?
and playing devil's advocate though, it kinda helps other people that died with the celebrity because, like I said, if Kobe was with it, we would and that still happened, we woulda maybe we woulda heard about a helicopter crash, but we wouldn't known who those people were. And sometimes that brings more awareness, like, I'm sure there's families that start GoFundMe's or they can't afford a funeral or, other reasons and, their name gets out there and you get that, anonymous help or donation from someone or a group of people. So, but with Nipsey
That's
Hussle,
true.
his and I love Nipsey Hussle. So, side note, Nipsey Hussle is also half Eritrean, which I'm also half Eritrean. So, it's relatable. That's in case you don't know where Eritrea is, a small little country in East Africa. Very not a huge population, but the ones I guess notably in America would be Nipsey Hussle. There's a Tiffany Haddish. She's half or something. And then you have the
Yeah, because
weekend.
she's also half Jewish as well. So
Yeah, yeah, so you have the weekend. He's not Eritrean, but he's half Ethiopian, which we're all family at the end of the day. Anyway, Nipsey, although he's a rapper, he was really known for his his hustle, right? Because we listen to music,
yeah,
we listen to rap music, especially, and they're always talking about the grind, the hustle. I had to do this, I had to do that, but Nipsey was kind of like that living embodiment of it. Like
of a
everything
hustle.
was started on his own. His mixtape, he owned his own. He was his own label. He wasn't I'm not saying a sellout, but he was a smart rapper. He was like more. He was
Yeah,
more gangster. He was like a gangster version of Drake. Not as successful, but you can tell that he was smart and he was on the. He was coming up pretty much. I mean, he's been around for a while, but like he started to gain some momentum. And then
it kind of it
go
kind of
ahead.
reminds me about how Chance the Rapper kind of came about.
Hmm.
Chance could have been blowed up years ago, years
Right.
and years ago, but he decided, no, I'm not gonna just sit. Well, for one, he didn't sell his masters. That was smart.
So, what
He
does that mean, by
decided
the
not to
way?
sound a certain. He didn't
Always
sell he didn't sell the originating rights to his music. So
okay,
when you sell your masters, and most companies want your masters because they can keep basically putting out under your name.
without you setting the
Uh,
price, right?
right.
Okay,
Versus if you keep your masters, now it's up to you. You decide. You have the very last say on all that.
right.
Yeah.
So, I would assume it's like you are in control of your own music, your own distribution, your own amount you charge. Obviously, that's
Right.
your own marketing, which is, I guess, would be the only benefit of a label is they can produce more at a higher volume and have millions of dollars for marketing versus you just kind of like, hey, check out my album on the side of the street selling out of a of a trunk. Um, but nowadays with social media, I mean, like most people, you can just be you can be your own label. You don't need. I mean,
Which
you have to abide by the rules of whatever platform you're using, but you could be a Spotify person and get enough views and hits, and boom, you get paid 100%.
which which is why a lot now are doing that. A lot have
Hmm.
pulled back from signing on to Sony or
Universal.
Def Jam Records or Universal, because it used to be the companies would come in and say, "Okay, we'll give you X amount of millions of dollars
Uh huh.
for your current masters, your current album, but also for 2 additional albums.
Right.
So here's X $1 million. You're now a millionaire, but you got to crank that stuff out, and we own that stuff."
Right, and if it does
Now,
better than you think, you don't get that. Well, I guess it depends on how your contract is structured, but I would assume you don't get as much as any extra profit than what your contract already, has down, you know?
right?
So if
Depending on
you're good
how
for
it was written out,
$1,000,000,
but yes,
but if you were by yourself, you would've made 20,000,000, you don't get that extra, you just get whatever you agreed to. So, I mean, it's kinda like any professional athlete with an agent and a contract type deal.
yeah, yeah, it's
Um
very similar, very similar. So, but yes, but getting back to it, that's kind of how Chance said, "No, I'm going to own my stuff," and it
Mhm,
took him a while to. I mean, I started listening years ago too, but you had to kind of find them, and they're
mhm.
out there like that. Now, thankfully, with social media stuff, you can find these guys. It's like, oh, this guy, Gary Clark Jr., Mike Kanawaka, Leon, even though Leon Bridges has been out there, Leon Bridges, you know, they,
That Russ dude, right? I think his
yeah,
name is Russ,
uh,
yeah.
yeah. So these guys, they decided to do it the long way, but it's giving them more control over what they do.
Right, and it pays off better, and then you can even hire people under you. Now with
Right.
Nipsey, I mean, he not only was in music, he had the Crenshaw, the clothing label, he was in a crypto. Like, he had other avenues of business besides music. However, I think the one thing that was his downfall, not necessarily his downfall, but probably how all this happened was with his affiliation with the Crips, the gang out
Yeah.
there in LA. You had the Bloods and Crips, stuff like that. And he was very outgoing about his
Mhm.
affiliation, especially in this earlier music, which is cool. I mean, like, we get it. Nipsey was like, he was the real deal. He wasn't like these
Yeah.
rappers now where they kind of talk about it, but or like a 6ix9ine
They,
where you could say that,
they
but there's
never
no
lived it.
proof.
Yeah.
There's no. Nipsey was like living in the moment, rapping, doing what he was rapping about. And unfortunately, we tend to forget as listeners or fans that these are real gangs. Like, this is not like something you joke about. This is not. I mean, we can be in Tampa talking about it, whatever. We're not worried, but we're not on the streets of Compton and LA. Wearing, unfortunately, wearing red, but wearing all red
I
or
mean,
wearing all,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Wearing,
strapped up, nothing to lose, and people just like with any type of success, you're gonna have haters. You're gonna have people who will take a small sum or a small fee to commit a murder or commit a robbery, and
and right
unfortunately,
now, I mean, not even right now. It's been a thing for a while, but
mhm,
especially right now when people are hurting in their pockets the last few
yeah,
years,
yeah,
you know, people are more apt to take a risk.
oh
I,
yeah,
I guarantee Eric Holder didn't think, okay, I'm gonna kill that guy. No, he got
no,
paid to do it.
he didn't snitch. I assume he probably not going to or didn't snitch on whoever paid him. I'm sure this wasn't.
Right.
I mean, I don't know the history behind. I didn't dive too much into Eric Holder, but I'm sure he didn't like grow up with Nipsey and had beef with him for his whole life. I'm sure this was just kind of a one-off thing, or maybe some type of disagreement, but, big money always has quote unquote hitters that would do the dirt for them, that would do the time for them, that will risk everything for just a little bit of money or a little bit of notoriety. And it's sad, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm happy he got caught. I'm happy this wasn't a Tupac and Biggie situation where
Yeah.
we
Just
may
still
think we
waiting.
know, but nobody is ever gonna see a court date or anything like
100%.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's always the potentials that lose their life early. I mean, what was the kid XX ten? I can never
Is
pronounce
it
it. Titanations?
Tentacion? Yeah.
Titanations? Don't Google that shit. But same thing.
That's Tentacion, yeah. Him and another guy got killed, I think 2 weeks prior to him getting killed, another rapper.
Yeah, and it
Same
always seems
thing, they
like
walked
a
up to the car.
yeah, it always seems like a revenge kill or something like that. It's
Yeah,
someone dies, someone always has to get blamed. And it doesn't even matter. I mean, just like in normal court cases, right? Or normal crimes, right? Someone has to take the fall. Even
yeah,
regardless if it's the whoever looks the most likely that they did it or the most evidence. I mean, we've watched plenty of murder mysteries or, documentaries about unfair cases to where it's like they have a little bit of evidence on you, you got to take the fall, which is
yeah,
sad. So, um, yeah, man, I'm happy they found the guy. 6 years to life. That's which is pretty much life. I don't even know why they even
yeah.
give you a number. They just say
This is
life till
might
you
recall
die.
what it is, it's life. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
until you die. Sorry. So, yeah, man.
Let's see, I don't have a holder's age here, but, I
It says he's
mean,
33 now.
I
So,
know Nipsey Hussle was 33 when he died, but
yeah, I think right now
was
Eric Holder is 33. So 2019 is what 4 years ago. So I mean, what
yeah.
like 29 ish.
So he's looking at 60 years, so he's 30, let's say he's 30.
He'd be
So he'll be 90. Nah, not even.
no.
That's
Even if his sentence gets reduced, I don't actually. Can you get a life sentence reduced? I don't know the rules on that.
yes. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can appeal, which his attorney always say he's going to appeal the decision, but you can appeal the verdict, go back to court again if the appeal goes through, which is highly doubtful.
I think it should just be up to the family. I think when it's a clear cut murder case, like oops, drop something, but when it's a so and so killed so and so, we got 100% proof. They admit it. They're guilty. I think it should be up to the family. The family could be like, we forgive them. We don't want them to do any time. Or the family can be like, we want him to do 1,000 years, we want him to do life, or we want him to be executed. Like that's fair. A,
Okay.
a life for a life.
All right. But what happens when the person's killed the entire family? You don't have anyone to question.
Well, then, I mean, I guess. Well, I don't know. I guess it's up. I guess that's when you go to court. It's just up to the jury. You know. Damn, I don't know. That's a tough one. Do you kill his whole family? Like, I don't know. Is that fair? Like, if your cousin kills somebody and you had nothing to do with it, and then next thing you know, you get summons, like, yo, you're on, like tomorrow, like you just understand for life in prison. Like, what the fuck? Like, I got nothing to do with this. I didn't even know it's related to this dude.
I don't know.
That's tough,
Oh
man.
man.
It's just it's crazy to think about
So
that.
what's funny is the reason why this guy is claiming he killed Nipsey Hussle
Mhm.
is because he thought, or it says that he was provoked by a conversation he had with Hussle about rumors that Nipsey was cooperating with police because when Nipsey Hussle was a teenager, he used to roll. Sorry, sorry, let me talk slang. He used to run with the Rolling 60 Street Gang
Right.
as a teenager. But that was a teenager. I mean, and granted, anyone who knows about gangs, you never really truly leave a gang.
No, unless
Um,
you literally like move to another country.
right. So he still had his ties to it, which is, obviously he still has some ties to it. He wasn't living that life anymore,
Mhm.
but it was still a part of him,
Right.
you know. And
Oh,
that,
and
and
he
like you
stayed in
said,
the
that was
area
still,
too, though. It's not like he like
yeah,
left LA.
exactly.
No, he's like which from a loyal a standpoint, it's like wow, he's legit. He's the real deal. He ain't leaving the hood, whatever. But from like you know a smart businessman, you get the hell out of there, man. You have someone
Yes.
else run the store. You have someone else run the. I mean, yeah, you may take a hit to your reputation, but it's like everybody in rap that came from the gutter or came from the hood or came from the streets, like their goal cannot be to stay in the streets. Like you hit
All
the
right.
lottery, somebody hit the Powerball, they're not about to stay in the hood. Are you kidding me? I've been
Heck
somewhere
nah.
in Switzerland skiing,
I
well,
I have 3 houses, none
yeah,
of them in the hood.
Right.
Just saying. Yeah. I'm just
And
saying.
and, like, and the
Uh,
thing is, they say, "Well, why don't you come back to the hood and help us out?" Because, man, it's just the hood is the hood for a reason. It's not that nobody wanted to help. It's just it is what it is. It's just like, the garbage can is a garbage can for a reason. It's not like you can't ever desire to have a garbage can that smell good. No, that's where fucking trash goes. That's its point. Every city has to have a hood. Even
yeah.
even Tampa has a well,
No, it is. No, Tampa has a hood. Believe me, Tampa has a
somewhere. I
hood.
don't know.
Yeah.
But a hood in
I've
Tampa.
actually, I found, no, I found it. Tampa's got a hood.
Yeah, but Tampa's not a place where you go to LA, be like, "Yo, I'm from the 813." They be like, "Where?"
Yeah, no, you ain't doing that. You're not doing
"You're
that.
from the 813? What country is
Yeah,
that?" I'm just kidding.
yeah, I know.
But yeah, man, I'm just
But I
I'm
mean, now, I
go
mean,
ahead.
Nipsey but he may have lived that life, but he was ready to make a change because one of the final things that he did, he actually did reach out to the Los Angeles Police Department to discuss ways to help prevent gangs violence in his neighborhood.
Right.
So, I mean, while Holder may have been pissed off, whatever, provoked by that discussion, it was a needed discussion that needed to happen. And
Oh,
at
yeah.
least he had someone
Someone
not
who could make an
era,
influence.
but
Like, people
who,
could
yeah,
listen to
someone
Nipsey.
who's lived it, been in it, knows people, and say, okay, we got to change. And
Right.
now you got a bridge, and
Right.
so that's
And it's
that's
not
something
like
that was needed.
it's not like Nipsey was like, y'all should stop killing each other. No, like his message to his own community was just like, listen, there's other ways of getting out of here. There's other smart ways, business
Right.
savvy ways, right? I mean, he has his clothing label. I know everybody can't start a clothing label, but he more educated than anything. He was a thug, but he kind of educated. He's like, look,
Yeah.
I can be
So yeah,
this like you guys are and still amount to this. Like, even if he wasn't a rapper, I still think he would have been successful.
yeah,
So
yeah.
RIP.
All right. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, we said it last year, or sorry, in 20 when he passed, we said it then. Saying again now, R.I.P. to Nipsey Hussle, and still hearts go out to our condolences to Lauren London and his family because
Yeah.
that daughter has got to grow up without a father now, and that's tough. That
Yeah.
is tough.
And that's and I'll leave it at this, but that's kinda like a sad part for, like, children of celebrities, like even Kobe daughters, or you can say Nipsey Hussle daughter, like, to where, like, you'll be able to, like, to Google, like, the death of your parent, you know?
Yeah,
Like, or
yeah.
reminded of it, or see it on the news, or, like, I mean, it's
It's gonna be, and every year the anniversary of. So
yeah.
every year you've got to relive
It's
this
like there's
whole
no
thing.
privacy to it, you know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I
alright, what we
agree.
got next?
All right. So moving on, we're going to talk about how Fox. It's Fox versus Dominion, and Dominion
Fuck Dominion. I
is
mean,
is
freak Dominion.
winning. Dominion is winning, winning, winning. Let me just say that they're winning. So let's get to the story.
Alright. Dominion is,
So
what is Dominion again?
Dominion is the voting systems that we use here in the states for for voting.
Mhm.
Um, and Fox came out and said, "Oh, the systems are corrupt or allegedly no, they actually there's no alleged." Fox came out and said that systems were corrupted and had issues or whatever. So the minions turned around and said, "No, it's not," and sued Fox for $1.6 billion,
Damn.
saying, uh, "Prove what you said because we know what we got."
There's not even that many people that voted. 1.6 billion. Like,
Yeah, I
you
know,
should be able
right?
it should be a max. Like, yo, you can't sue us for more than the number of votes.
So here's what I'm gonna read this article. This article's off the Guardian to kind of give you a little bit of a
Yo, I
background.
think I think oh, side note, I think I messed up my mustache line. Like, the left side of my lip, it's like my hair is a little too long.
Well, it's time for me to go see the barber, so
Yeah, I
you know
know.
it is.
I feel that.
So this is an article about Rupert Murdoch, who's the owner of Fox News Corp. Um,
Rupert
Here's
Murdoch,
the
not
story.
Alex.
Rupert Murdoch.
Oh, yeah,
Rupert
yeah, yeah,
Murdoch.
yeah.
So Rupert Murdoch was deposed, and he said that he knew the systems, not the systems were right, but that Trump's claims were a bunch of BS. Now we're not
Mhm.
talking politics here, people. We told you on the show we don't
He's
really
talking
talk
about
about
voting
politics. We're not
systems
talking
and
about
operating
we're
systems,
talking
that's
about
all.
voting systems now. So calm it down, simmer down. We're
Mhm.
not talking about Trump, DeSantis, Biden, any of them. I care less.
Ciroc
Talking about
and
voting
all of 'em.
systems. But here's the story. Here's the article. In his 71 years as a media executive, Rupert Murdoch has proved himself to be a grandmaster in the arts of survival. He has
Grandmaster.
weathered bruising battles with British trade unions, the phone hacking scandal, which is when he literally got away with having his son and other people hack news journalists' phones. He got away with
Nice.
that. Countless ratings wars and a volatile private life, all the while growing his news corporate empire to a global colossus. It was against this 7-decade backdrop of seeming invincibility that news of Murdoch's deposition in the $1.6 billion Dominion Voting Systems lawsuit against Fox News Networks and its parent company, Fox Corp, dropped like a bomb. Not only did he admit that he knew that Fox News hosts spread lies about the 2020 presidential election being stolen from Donald Trump, but he confessed that he allowed them to keep on doing so on air to millions of viewers to keep the views.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and this is, he's the head honcho. So let me just say,
Rupert Murdoch.
this is just where it got to. It also alleged that just about every other media personality on Fox has also
Mhm.
admitted to the same thing.
Of course. Yeah, they get paid to
Now,
admit this stuff.
for the Minion to win this lawsuit, they have to show that Fox willingly and wantonly um, said all this false news and knew it was false, and they've
What?
literally
Isn't
just
that like
proved
what
their
the news
case.
is most of the time? Just a whole bunch of BS?
No, but see that's the thing. You got to have some truth with that BS, and that's where Fox messed up. They didn't
All you gotta
have
do is
truth
put
in.
allegedly at the end of it. This
That that
Dominion
that
voter system doesn't work allegedly.
that works for us because
Oh, yeah, I
we're
guess you're right.
commentators. We're entertainment. They're
Allegedly.
news. That doesn't work for news. They got to give the facts. Well, at least they're supposed to give the
Some of the
facts. Obviously,
facts.
they didn't give the
60-40.
facts.
60% of the stuff is true. 40% we just made up because we didn't have nothing to put on.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, they ran with this stuff. But now look, it looks like, honestly, it looks like they're gonna lose this case, and losing the $1.6 billion
It's a lot
lawsuit,
of
that's
money.
gonna hurt Fox News.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
a couple
granted,
layoffs.
they got money, but that's gonna hurt them in the pocket.
Yeah, that's like I mean, I don't know how much money they got, but there goes
That's the
those
question. Like,
raises for next
what are they
year.
worth? I don't know what Fox Corp is worth, but 1.6 billion is gonna hurt anybody. I don't care if you Elon Musk, who was worth what 60 or $40 billion,
Oh, he
it's
worth
gonna
more than
hurt
that.
him.
He worth like 100 or
No,
something.
he lost a lot. But once he
Yeah, they
lost
be
away.
because that's because most of that stuff is just valuation. Like, you really don't know how much he
Exactly.
has.
So that's what I'm saying. In cash money, he probably has like 40 billion. You
It
know,
says Fox net worth as of, today or yesterday is, 17.24 billion. So, that's a hell of a fine to lose out of that
yeah,
17.
yeah. That's gonna drop you down to 15,
Damn, they worth
and that's the thing.
17 billion dollars.
And here's what's gonna happen though, and this is what always happens. Dominion wins this lawsuit, and the people who want to sue Fox but didn't have the money to do it are now going to sue Fox, saying, "Hey, they won, and we've got pretty much the same
Yeah,
case.
everybody's suing now.
We're suing them too."
They leeches, they latching
So,
on like, "Wait, what?"
oh yes, it happens all the time. Happened to
I'm about to apply
McDonald's,
it to
happened to
Dominion right
Hardee's.
now. Like,
Yeah, I mean, as soon
Dominion
as they can do
entry
it,
level
they
job.
latch on.
Damn. So when is this I mean, I guess this case is gonna be drawn out for years.
I see. I'm hoping it's not because they now deposed him. You can't really get much higher than the owner of the company.
Yeah.
So I'm
We see y'all
thinking,
for
and they
$1 trillion. Like, we don't
it
got it.
doesn't really mention in the article when they're going to rest the case, but I'm
Nah.
thinking within the next like couple weeks they should be resting because again, you can't. There's only so many people you can oppose, and once you get to the head honcho, where do you go
Yeah,
from there?
he might not even work there anymore. He's like, "I don't work there. You can't sue me." You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna draw this out, and they're gonna settle for something way less, undisclosed, and they won't be able to talk about it for years. And then we'll read about it in the history books like 60 years from now, and that'd be that.
But here's the thing: if you're a Dominion, would you do that?
Yeah, but
You your
I'd
case is
have
one.
on my website
You're
though, it'd be like won the case against Fox, like in bold letters at the top, so you knew. Like even if the case wasn't over, like sued Fox. Haha, work for us.
nah. I'm letting this thing go to the judge or the jury
I
because
still can't believe like
no.
we're voting on like
1.6 billion and all this is coming out about how they all Tucker Carlson,
mhm.
Lauren Ingram. what's the other guy? I can't remember his name. Uh, he's one of the other guys. I can't remember his name. Obviously, I don't watch Fox, but
But I still
they
can't believe.
all under deposition, with
Oh
when they had
yeah,
to swear in, had to admit under penalty of perjury that they said false shit.
I'd lie all the
Come on.
time. I would lie. I don't understand like the whole like you're under oath. I'm like, okay, like that's gonna change my mind from lying. Like, yo, I gotta lie for the lie for the lie for the lie, and then I got a whole book of lies for
all
that. Like, I
but
always got something.
all
Like,
it
but you
takes is all it takes is them to find out the truth to one of your lies, and that's 5 to 8 years in jail
okay, I'll take that
automatically.
versus versus 60 to life, like Eric Holder.
Well,
Well,
that's
I don't.
Eric Holder, but I mean, but let's look at it in money sense. 1.6 billion or 5 to 7 years in jail.
I
Which
don't
one are you
know,
gonna
man.
do?
I put one of those memes like, I can't see. I'm legally blind. I didn't know that was a Bible. No, what I don't understand
I
is
didn't
like,
know it was a Bible.
I didn't know that
Okay.
was a Bible.
Listen, I
And
didn't know
I,
what I was swearing to. I was just swearing to stuff.
yeah. And also,
I don't know how that's gonna help you out
side
there.
note, like, honestly, I still can't believe we're voting this way. Like, it should just be an app on your excuse me, iPhone or Android, and that's it. And if you don't got an Apple or Android, you shouldn't be voting anyway. Like, that's how it should be.
Well,
Like, yo, if you don't got a phone, you shouldn't be voting.
I told you my idea for voting, didn't I?
What?
For how voting should go.
Right
I
in?
think I did. I tell everyone this. So everyone in America, just everyone in the world, really, but everyone in America just about has a cell phone.
Okay.
Okay, right?
All right.
All these cell phones now have security like out the wazoo for them because now you're using it to pay with things, to pay for stuff.
Right.
So now it's got more security on it. A lot of them have a fingerprint reader to
Right.
unlock it
Right. Right.
or face unlock, but a fingerprint reader. Why in the world can we not just vote by phone? And when they want to verify your identity, you use that fingerprint reader to verify who you are. Vote by phone. Everyone can vote that way
Hmm.
and move on.
I feel
The,
like
the,
eventually,
the,
I bet you it's
the
gonna be
checks
like
and
that.
balances the checks and balances are there because they go, okay, we're gonna cross-reference your phone number and your thumbprint with your phone number, your thumbprint that we already have on file. Okay, good, you match up. And then you move on. And
I
now we
think
have a
also
record
though,
of
because
your
people
vote
probably don't want
and
like your like people don't want their fingerprint information given to the you know how people are, man. They always worried
they
about.
got it anyway.
Yeah, but that's
They
the whole
got it
point,
anyway.
man. Like,
I mean,
honestly, they should just do it like this, right? Every city should bring everybody to their local arenas, right? And they just vote like by crowd noise. They're like, "All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you vote for Biden, let me hear you make some noise." They're like, "Arr, you vote for Trump, let me hear you make some like that." Like that's fair. That's fair. Like, okay, clearly this guy won and this guy lost, and then they just add them all up, and whoever get the hype is wins the. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Like, I'm okay with just writing down on paper and mailing it in. Like, I mean, you can vote all you want, but at the end of the day, we know damn well that we have little to no control over who actually wins. And
that's true.
they put it on TV to make you feel good. Like, oh, it's getting close. It's
No.
getting close. It's always an event, even though technology is like snap of the finger, right? We get online, it takes
Yeah.
what, half a second to load up. Camera comes on 2 seconds. Why does it take 24 hours and through the night to count up digital votes? Like, it should just be a number already.
Because of now, because of all those people getting all mad about this, that, the other, that now they like, oh no, we want paper ballots again. We want the pencil again.
Yeah,
Like,
okay,
come
well,
on.
then they should
Why
have,
are we
like
going backwards?
it should
Why
be
are we
like,
going
if
backwards
you
when you have
understand
a phone?
technology, you vote in this time period. If you old as hell and you wanna write it in, your voting period is way in a couple months, you know? Oh, man. Like, honestly, if we did it the
Uh,
old school way, we still be counting votes today. Like, Biden been the president for 3 years now, and by the time they find out if he would or cheated, he gonna be dead. Like, oh, it's 2028. We finally found out the results of the 2018, 2016 election. Turns out deceased President Biden, deceased President Trump actually was a mix up. Like, come on, nobody cares.
it was a mix up. Oh my god.
Oh man. Either way, I hope Dominion wins, even though I'm not a fan of
Yeah.
Dominion. So we'll see what happens, man. Get paid out there. However, speaking of wins, I'm pretty sure that I don't want to say undefeated because a tie doesn't count as a win. But when it comes to what the Florida, this is a guarantee. We don't need any votes because when I win, it's recorded. You can see it, you believe it, and then I remind you of it every next episode, just in case you forgot. So Go ahead, bring on Colin in here so I can get that ass whooped once again.